I would say I was very much a child of the '90s, and so Soundgarden, Alice in Chains were like Pearl Jam, Nirvana. That was kind of like the first thing that got me into rock. But then I discovered like Zeppelin and all the great bands out of the '70s. So those were mine.
Well, thank you, my friend. Yeah, very similar actually. Early '90s stuff. I mean, it's like all the stuff in Seattle was so amazing, right? Like Pearl Jam is what got me into music and changed my life, and I wouldn't be here playing music if not for them. And that kind of led to Nirvana, Soundgarden, all that stuff. And then Eddie Vedder was a huge fan of The Who, so that's kind of how I got into The Who, and then Zeppelin and Hendrix and all that good stuff. And then I was ruined,
I got into the '90s stuff a little bit later than the '90s. I was the Hetfield guy. I loved his guitar playing and Dimebag and stuff like that. But also I grew up with my dad who played all the time, and he got me into stuff like Pink Floyd, so I was a big Dave Gilmour fan and stuff like that. But kind of all over the map, like I like a lot of new stuff nowadays. Still being inspired, doesn't stop. So
It's stopped for me.
oh, darn man, come on.
I'm one of the few bass players that love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I guess sentimental answer would be my dad. He's a huge influence to me as a musician. But yeah, Peppers, Pearl Jam, kind of same vibe for me. And yeah.
Shinedown. No, there's lots of awesome like new bands we'd love to tour with, but also like Pearl Jam would be killer, something like that. Or like I watched Metallica in Edmonton a few months ago. That was killer, would be unreal. But honestly, coming to mind, like I don't know who knew big bands that we would. Yeah, we did a show with Pop Rose. They were super nice guys. I think bands like honestly, I'd like to open for a lot of big American rock bands, just to get us down there. To be completely honest.
If I could time travel, I'd love to tour with like Zeppelin in '71, but then I probably wouldn't be alive for much longer, so it'd be like a time travel and then I wouldn't ever exist, I'd die by 72.
That's a good album title.
Dead by 72.
There's been so many because obviously in the last few years we've really our career's gone from here to here. I would say, some of those first arena shows were super cool. It's such a different environment. I remember when we stood backstage, just having that moment, just like, holy shit, like you can, we've played a million shows at that point, but like you step out into that sea of people that you've always kind of dreamt of. And I know that was a bit of a game changer for us. And of course, the Shinedown tour we have coming up will be Steve's first taste of the arena life. So, it'll be a bit of a life changer for you, buddy. But, like I said, there's been so many, but I think that one was really like, we'd been working so hard to get to that point. And then when it happened, it was like, okay, like this is definitely what we're doing, It's been a very evolved process. In the beginning, it was a little more splintered where everyone kind of came in with stuff, and I was doing all the lyrics, and it was like, we were all kind of like stuck to our instrument. This latest record has been really cool because, the lyrics have opened up. We've all contributed to writing lyrics. We've all contributed to writing, the music as well. And so it's an ever-ending, evolving process because I think once you kind of get to a point where like this is the only way we write, that's, when you start to go downhill. So it's just been more, very collaborative. Like sometimes it's hard to even remember where the music came from, like Hicks obviously writes a lot of riffs, but we all come in with stuff. And by the time a song's done, you're like, how did that start? But, but that's the great thing about, we're four brothers, and so we, everything is equally contributed. And really we've come to a point, I should have maybe shortened this answer by just saying, we sit around and it's like, best idea wins. It's just like service the song, whatever's great, that's the direction we're going.
Mine is a new song off the new record called Like a Weapon. Just it's got the energy for a banging live song. I love the riff in it, and it gets me amped. So as of today, that's my favorite one to play live.
Actually, Scream for Me is my favorite. It's just a blast playing live. That or Satellite, I'd definitely say for me.
Right now, it always changes. It's every show is kind of like different. I'd say the last like few gigs, a song called Hurricane off the new record. It's kind of like it's just got this sort of primal energy, and it is kind of like the name suggests, like sort of like this natural disaster sort of vibe, right? Like this natural force, and to me, that's how the best rock and roll songs, they capture that sort of like that wild, primal sort of energy, and we play it live. It definitely feels like that. I'm just banging away like back there like a savage, you know. I kind of like that.
Personally, I love playing Hurricane. Scream for me has been tons of fun to play on this tour, and Katie's right. It changes kind of every tour, you know. I mean, of course, like playing the new stuff feels so good to get the new songs out and play them live. But I also love, I mean, anytime we get into like Retribution Blues, you know, as soon as Hicks hits that beginning riff, it's like the crowd goes bananas, and you know. So no matter how many times we play a song like that, it's like it's your first time playing it, you know. It's yeah, I always love playing that song. Ooh, that's a good question. I learned years ago, long before I was a singer or anything. I was in university, and I did PJ. The names escape me. It's like their kind of 50s ballad. Yeah, Last Kiss. That was the first song I like learned to play live. So that was mine.
Like, did you sing it with like the face? Like
yeah, not quite that good.
I don't recall the first song I learned, but like I remember the first song that like really blew my mind and then made me want to play along, but I sucked at it, so I couldn't play along with it. But it was my dad had a 45 record of House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, and I remember putting it on his record player and like learning how to play it records for the first time, and it's just like, you know, when that vocal comes in, and like it just blew my mind. I remember like my arm hair stood up, and I was like when that bug bites you, you know, you're never the same. And that was it. Like that was the moment. Like I knew I was going to play music for a living, you know. And then it took me like 5 years to learn how to play along to that song. But like that's the one I wanted to learn, you know.
I do remember the first song I learned on guitar was "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd.
Oh, nice.
I was just learning. My dad was giving me lessons, and I think I heard him playing the record downstairs, and he asked what song do I want to play, and I said, well, that one sounds cool. I want to play that one.
My answer's pretty lame. It's Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, you know? Yeah. Followed by Around the World by the Chili Peppers. So, you know, it kind of, it's, yeah, exactly. But yeah.
That's a hell of a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, every time Bohemian Rhapsody comes on, I'm just like, fuck. Like it's like how could you even write that in 2017? Like people be like, you're crazy. And Freddie Mercury is my favorite singer of all time, probably. And it's just like the boldness of that song, and how it's just like no one could ever write it again. Like it's just magical and crazy and catchy, and it's like I always crank it up. I never get sick of that song every time it comes on, and it's played like 30 times a day in Saskatoon alone, you know?
Yeah, that's a great question. I always loved Outshine by Soundgarden. I mean, I celebrate their whole catalog. But I've written so many songs, you know, and have blatantly ripped that song off because I just, you know, I sit down with my guitar and I just like, I play that riff and I'm like, I really wish I'd have written that. But, you know, only the greats.
I'll say anything by Joe Walsh, just because he has so much fun playing them, and I want to get in that headspace.
I'll go with Freebird, you know? That's, yeah, Freebird. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's been a great song. I never get tired of it either. Yeah, it's very rare that you ever, you know, hear anybody talk about it or request it at a show or anything, so, yeah. Homeless.
That's a promising career.
I'm not sure, but whatever it is, I'd probably need Kurt the lawyer close by.
Our alternate careers all involve Kurt's other career. Well, I do a lot of, I mean, you know, art's my life. So if for some reason I woke up one day and my voice was gone, I do a lot of drawing and that sort of thing. So I would, whatever it is, it would have to be creative. No, we have a little get together. You know, we like to just the four of us. That it's not to be repeated on camera, but it's good to have. There's like that great moment where before any show, it's good to have. It's just the four of us, right? Like, and you're about to go out there and do something crazy. The thing that we all love to do the most, as far as our careers and stuff goes. So yeah, we have a nice little moment between the four of us. So. I've lived a lot of my bucket list already. I feel like that's the kind of thing in your life, because your life might be really long and it might be really short, so you should actually do those things. And so, I mean, being the singer in a rock band's pretty much scratched my number one off my bucket list. So,
yeah, I mean, I want to see a lot of the world, and that's kind of why. That's one of the cool things about being in a band is it can take you to other places. Like we toured Germany for the first time. That was awesome. I love places like Italy. It's kind of the only place I've been outside of North America, and I loved it there. So we'd love to go back there maybe with the guys and just see Italy, tour France, just see all over the world and just play some music along the way.
I want to go ice fishing and catch a fish that won't fit through the hole.
That's a solid answer right there. For me, being the new guy, I haven't had the chance to do a lot of the big shows that these guys have. So for me, playing Sass Place or SaskTel Center or whatever it is nowadays, that's always been my number one. And now, seeing that 2018, I'll get to do that. That's just 3 months away. That's gonna be hard to beat for me. Yeah. I stole all my stuff from my dad.
Yeah, I'm not a huge gear head, but the things I've been using the most is my gold top Les Paul. It's my go-to, and then the guitar head I've been using for about 12 years. Kind of bought it on a whim from eBay, and I loved it. And might not say what it is.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite gear is drums.
Yeah, and I have, I don't play it a lot on stage. Every now and then I'll break my acoustico, but I have a Gibson J45 that I've written tons of stuff on, and it's like that. It's that instrument that when I pick it up, there's just magic in that guitar. It just feels fresh, like new every time. So yeah, I love that thing. One year? For me, no. I think every year has been better than the last. And we've had amazing experiences. But I honestly, the future has looked so bright for us getting to the end of this year, this is the best year we've ever had. And previous to that, that was the best year we've ever had. And so, personally, I'm ready to live the next year, and see what that has to bring. 'Cause, we've been working our asses off for 13 plus years here. So, there's a lot of years I think I wouldn't relive. I think the guys would probably agree on some of those ones, But yeah, I think I'm ready for next year. I'm ready to keep going. Agreed? I think we're agreed on that. All right.